destination for many of the trains on the Norfolk Southern Pittsburgh line is the Conway Yard about 100 miles west of the Altoona area, where they will stop for reclassification and sorting. On this day, the train time team decided to go to the Conway Yard to show our viewers what the yard looks like. The town of New Brighton is situated beside the Beaver River. Norfolk Southern's Pittsburgh line follows the Beaver River into the Conway Yard about 5 miles away. Trains run slowly through New Brighton because they are on their final approach to the yard.
Actually, we're going to have to talk to Foreman Foley, who has number 2 track out of service between Yellow Creek and Rochester. Stand by.
"60 to 80 trains a day pass over the Pittsburgh line, moving products east and west. Many of these trains stop at the Conway Yard for reclassification to make combinations of cars as they are sent to different locations. We will see 2 of these trains again inside the Conway Yard. As trains approach the Conway Yard, we see power from other railroads. A Guilford locomotive from the New England area was a surprise for the train time team from Maine.
Stand by one moment. I got to clear some personnel equipment. I'll be right back to you. Roger. 24B, stand by. Roger. BRV2 24V 9706. You have permission by my stop board MPPC 30.0 in an east direction. Track 1. 25 mile an hour through the work zone, making noise for the gang, over. Roger. BRB2 out. 1 to pick it up. Make noise abandoned equipment, number 1 track, over. That's affirmative. Okay, thank you, McKinnon. K3, Virginia. Thank you. About an hour.
Are we waiting here?
We're waiting right there for a little bit.
Okay.
About 20% of the rail traffic on the Norfolk Southern Railroad is intermodal trailers and containers.
NS detector. File post 3, decimal, point 5, track 1. No defect.
Nearly one-third of the traffic on the Norfolk Southern is coal, coke, or iron ore. Norfolk Southern has 134 active coal loading facilities on its railroad.
NR 3404 to BRB2, gang, over.
Norfolk Southern has 21,500 route miles of track in 22 eastern states, Washington, D.C., and Ontario, Canada. former Conrail line was acquired by CSX and Norfolk Southern in 1998. Norfolk Southern started official operation of its portion of Conrail on June 1st, 1999. Norfolk Southern is now one of the big four Class I railroads in the United States. The others are CSX, Union Pacific, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe.
3404 east on number 1 track, like permission past the stop signs, over. Power switch start to 5 pounds. Roger, up and over, power switch start to 5 pounds.
The Norfolk Southern Executive Train is a rare sight for rail fans. The executive train has an impressive pair of F9 diesel units with a pair of B units in between. This 10-car train is used for various ceremonial functions as well as special occasions for Norfolk Southern employees. The vintage cars have been renovated because of their elegance and beauty. This particular train includes a dome car and an observation car at the end with stadium-style seating, so several people can look out the back of the train at the same time. The observation car can also be used for inspecting track. The train is also commonly referred to as an OCS train, that is, an office car special. The train time team moved west about 5 miles from New Brighton to the Conway Yard. The Conway Yard is about 20 miles northwest of Pittsburgh and is located along the Beaver River, which later flows into the Ohio River. The 4-mile-long classification yard was completed in 1957 and was the electronic marvel of its time. It had push-button relay switches, computers, and specially controlled retarders to slow the cars as they moved over the hump and into their proper tracks. This reclassification yard sorts about 1,700 cars a day. In the background beyond the tower, we can see train 10R arriving at the yard. We saw this mixed train with the BNSF locomotive at New Brighton as we approached the Conway yard.
Roger, thank you. CRB2 out.
The yard has been realigned in recent years. At one time it had two hump yards, one for the eastbound trains and another for westbound trains. Today it uses just one of the humps and sorts almost as many cars as when it used two hump yards. When it was originally built in 1957, it had 107 classification tracks, 53 on the east yard and 54 in the west yard. On the other side of the Beaver River, we can see a 4-engine CSX mixed train running on its line. Trains are constantly arriving and departing from the Conway yard.
Permission by my stop board MPPC 30.0 east direction, track 1, 25 mile an hour.
On the bridge, we can see a man dressed in light clothing walking along beside the cars. He is pulling the pins to uncouple the cars so they can be separated and moved down the hump to their proper location. During this procedure, the pin puller is in constant communication with the tower operator for instructions. The engines, including the Guilford locomotive, come back to the engine facility after leaving the cars in the yard to be redistributed. At the same time, Train 10R with a BNSF engine is arriving in the yard. It too will drop off its cars to be sorted for different destinations. The large engine facility refuels and maintains the locomotives before they are assigned to another train. The gondola in the foreground has a turnout ready to be moved and installed somewhere. The train time team next traveled to the CSX side of the Beaver River to photograph trains in Falston, Pennsylvania. Our location here in Falston is the Flagstop Bed and Breakfast facility, which is the home of a rail fan. You can see how close his home is to the tracks. From his porch you can watch trains on both sides of the river. Thank you for joining our train time team on this adventure in western Pennsylvania.